Hello everybody, welcome to What's in the Box. Today we are having a look at the Mass Effect board game Priority Hagalaz from the folks over at Modiphius. So Commander Shepard and her crew, or his crew, are going to be heading in to a crashed Cerberus cruiser to see what exactly nefarious research they have been up to in the deep dark of space. Okay, let's dig into the box. So we've got our front cover, lovely Mass Effect artwork. Flipping over, we can get a little bit of a look at what we're getting in here. So dice, tokens, cards. Our game boards are actually quite interesting in this because they're actually in a ring-bound book. So let's not gild the lily too much and crack it open. So first thing we're going to come to is our narrative book. This you only need whenever you're told to, either by mission board or in the actual rulebook itself. So these are like little snippets of cutscenes that you would have seen in the video game. We then have main rulebook, not super heavy, but this will give us everything we need to play. So we can see this is how our missions are laid out. This is actually basically just how we lay everything out on the tabletop. But we will get to that as we work our way through. Mission book. This is something I quite like. We've seen a few games do this now where your mission, all of your details are on one side and your actual playing side is on the other. One of the interesting things that they've brought over from the main game, if I can show it, is on this page you can see you have your regular victory, your Paragon victory, and your Renegade victory. You've then also got your mission failure down here. So regular victory, it'll tell you go to story paragraph 121 in the narrative book, versus if you do it Paragon, it'll be 30, and if you do the Renegade, it'll be 45. So there's some specifics on how you are going to complete your mission. Paragon and Renegade do a couple of different things for you. So if you complete a mission Paragon, you'll gain a Paragon dice, which is just a bonus die in your squad pool. Interesting mechanic, all of your characters are rolling action dice from a singular pool, but as whoever's later in the turn goes, they have less dice because they get pulled and picked from the pool. Up here we've got a list of our enemy forces and which hazard deck we're going to be using. Down the bottom we've also got some of our elites. All of your missions are in there. Now, campaign map. This game plays out across between 3 and 5 games. Now, it says between 3 and 5 because after you finish each main one, you have the option to go and do a loyalty mission for one of your squad mates. You can switch your squad mates about as you go, but this is basically just going to be keeping track of everything you're doing as you play. If we flip it over, on the backhand side, we've got a little bit of a cheat sheet just to, well, basically, if you forget what a component is or what something's meant to be, you can just very quickly flip this over and have a look. So move that out of the way. Then we're digging into our character cards. Now, all of our character cards are identical except for Shepard's. So for Shepard's one, it is identical on both sides. It just switches between the male and female model. So like you would in the video game. Going around the sheet, you can do 2 move actions, 2 mission actions, or a revive action. You've then got some of your special abilities. Now, these ones you will unlock later on. Blue one is the only thing you have at the start. So you've got 2 blue actions here to begin with. And then as you level up by killing enemies, you'll then start getting more. Now, if we jump to our Krogan character, you'll see he's the exact same. He's got his own special ability. And the difference is on the backside, there is a downside. So if he gets downed, 3 of those dice from your squad pool are going to get locked out. And then this is going to tell you the other bits. So we also have Rex, Tali, Liara, and of course the main man himself, Garrus. Now each one, as I said, has its own abilities. Each one has its own rules. So you can pick Shepard plus, I believe it's 3 other squad mates. So someone's always getting left out and you can change it between missions, but you're really changing up just what you have in your party. Next layer down, we're going to see our characters' tokens. Well, character tokens are here. You've got some of your more elite tokens here and your grunt tokens here. You've got your wound markers. You've got some door markers on here. You've got turret markers as well. You've also got some of your loot tokens. Loot tokens are hidden, and then you're trying to just grab some of those. Some of those have like intel and stuff, which can really help you along. The two sides in this is Cerberus, and if I check, because I'm terrible with names sometimes, and this is really well fitted. So we have our hazard decks, so we have our Cerberus, and our Reapers. That's the name. I'm always terrible with that. These two decks are basically what run your opponents in game. So after you take a turn, you'll flip one of these, and it will tell you what you're doing with stuff. Now, last bits. We have our little canvas bag. So this, as you're playing through, you're going to be blind drawing enemies from this sack whenever you're told to on one of those hazard cards. But also, depending on what mission you're playing, the game is engineered so that you're not going to be working with stuff that's too difficult. We then have our dice. So we have our regular squad dice, and then the blue ones are Paragon dice. So you can complete 2 missions with a Paragon finish, and these will go in here. So it basically means as you're rolling, if you need it, you can grab an extra action. Most squad mates are locked off to 3, but whenever you have these, you could do a 4th or even a 5th if you want to do something extra heroic. We then have our little baggie of gems. These are just little trackers that are going to go onto your character sheets. So mark your health, mark your shields, and mark some of your special abilities as well. We then get a plethora of clear baggies for all of your tokens, so you can separate them out nice and neat. And we also get a little branded Mass Effect dry erase marker. This is basically just tracking your stuff on your campaign sheet and tracking like your experience for your characters. Lastly, we get some miniatures. First up, we get racks. All the miniatures are single piece, and the details are pretty damn good. So if you're playing racks and you've played the video game, you know, up close, personal, bit of a beat stick. We've then got Tally. I'm going to be doing some, you know, hacking biotic shenanigans. They have included grenades in the game, and some of the mechanics for actually how you move and how you fight are quite interesting because they're engineering that Mass Effect feeling in there. We've then got Liara looking really, really nice, just holding a little psychokinetic ball of some sort. We then bring in Garrus. If you've never played the game, he's holding a sniper rifle. What do you think he's going to do? Sniper is going to snipe and go pop and take someone's head off. Now, we get 2 more miniatures in our box, but they are actually both the same character. So we get our female Shepard running around with a little pistol. Really, really nice detail on these. We then also get our male Shepard. So really, it's down to yourself which of these 2 miniatures you use. It's aesthetic, plain and simple. That's all it's there for, and it will make 0 difference. But there we go. So there we have it. It looks like a really, really, true representation of the video game as board game. They've tried to keep some of those main mechanics from the video game and re-engineer them into the board game from what I've seen, from what I've read so far. Definitely one that I think is going to be worth checking out if you're a fan of the franchise, and if you and your mates like playing campaign games that you can come back and get some replayability out of. Because depending on how you play each time, depending on which squad you take each time, you're really going to see some major differences in how the game plays. Anyway, I'll move on. Drop your comments below, and I'll see you again very soon.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.